entities who have been sacked. We'll put out their details. All of them deeply embedded in the terror system. One of them had actually married his adopted daughter to the root cause of all of nearly 60% of these attacks. And he is operating out of Pakistan. Sajad Bhatt. Dr. Nirmal Singh, big crackdown this?
Yes. This is a all-out fight against terrorism. These were the people who have been recruited various institutions during 1990s and afterwards, when there was no government, and if the governments were there, definitely the system was such that these people, they could find places in education institutions, other government departments, and you will be remembering that in the 1990s, even police have been infected by these terrorists, and ultimately army had been called to the forced police to surrender their arms. That was in the initial stages, and it's the same police which is fighting the terrorism right now. But these people, they were still in the various departments providing information to the anti-nationals, to the Pakistani elements. And after the abrogation of Article 370, after 5th August 2019, all-out fight has been started against terrorism. And our agencies, our CID, our other central agencies, they are trying to find out all these people, and they are being sacked under under law.
One is a lab bearer in the education department who had connections with Sajid Jatt. The other one is a doctor, Nisarul Hassan. A third is a cop who was involved in drug trafficking also, and for over a decade. And he was a constable, Abdul Majid Bhatt. And then Farooq Ahmed worked as a teacher. So they had spread themselves across these systems.
Yes. Because for more than 2 decades, these people, they have been recruited, and they have been recruited under pressure, because there was a time when in Kashmir, no nationalists, even in the departments, they could work. So this was pressure in the universities. You find that in the university, various teachers have been appointed, violating all these norms. I tell you, when I was a speaker, one person, he approached me with the request that I must be regularized. And he was absconding. I don't know whether he was associated with terrorists or not, but he was, time and again, he was coming to me and asking that I must be regularized. When I asked him, where were you? During the and the system was supporting. All those people, his colleagues and other people, they supporting him. But so this was the system which was working at that time. So all these people, now they are being tracked down, and the action is being taken against them. And some of them, they were related to those separatists and the terrorists, which were sitting across, whether they were sitting across the border in Pakistan, or they were related to Hurriyat and all that. It was there. And now the government is asserting itself. They are being tracked down, and action is being taken against them.
Now, is this action haphazard? Is this action being done in haste? Or is it being done after proper deliberation and a proper investigation, Dr. Nirmal Singh? What's your understanding? PDP and National Conference are saying that ordinary Kashmiris, their lives are being snatched away from them.
I'll ask these people that you come up with the various facts. If they're trying to say that they are innocent, they must come forward. There are courts. Our Honorable High Court is there, or the lower courts are there. So still rule of law is there. They must come out. But the government is working after having comprehensive information, finding all the, you can say, facts, basic facts, and taking actions against them.
General Sanjay Kulkarni, was this an issue that there was help from within by these implants? And if the entire terror ecosystem has to come down, then this ecosystem has to be cracked down upon. The administrative system has to be cleaned up.
Definitely, Rahul. There's no denying the fact that this ecosystem, there has to be a tremendous amount of crackdown because they were in all conditions. You just see after the abrogation of Article 370, as you rightly brought it, over 60 people. And they are not ordinary people. They're people with a lot of respect and repute. Doctors, you have senior police officers, you have constables, you have teachers. And at one point of time, there were 2,600 teachers enrolled who are not even secondary qualification they have. And imagine they are, out of them, 1,700 are those teaching primary school. What kind of infiltration, what kind of terror link? I think it is unfortunate that we have political parties coming out to say so, because the government will never ever use Article 311 for the purpose of doing away with the duties, primarily because the terror links have been established. Notwithstanding that, they can go back to the rule of law and fight for themselves. But the fact still remains, they were deeply involved. They were at all times, this penetration, providing logistics, working as overground workers, providing information, working with them, and ensuring that these kind of things are happening in the state. And from very, very senior people, very respected people. Can you imagine doctors? Can you imagine police officers, teachers, the Jamaitis who were part of it? Even at one point of time, the political parties would want to say that the madrasas have closed, and those teachers from there are being enrolled into these schools over here and now being brought into a regular payrolls and being paid for with an ideology which is absolutely disruptive and just fermenting such a terrorist system and links with the ISI. I think it's time that the government crack down, and this crackdown must continue. The political parties can't just immediately jump into trying to protect. No,
right.
This kind of thing. What does that show? That they're definitely hand in gloves with them. Why else would they do such a thing?
Well, I think we have Mr. Najmu Saqib of the PDP on the phone line. Mr. Saqib, namaste. I just want to understand. Salam Radar, Nisarul Hassan, Abdul Majid Bhatt and Farooq Ahmad Mir, all of them sacked because of their links with terror and being part of an ecosystem that was working against the interests of Bharat. Your thoughts here, sir?
Well, look, the first issue that we have continuously raised is that a bureaucrat cannot be a judge, jury and executioner. If these officials do not have any recourse to justice and are not allowed to, take remedial measures from the court, I think that is very arbitrary. And that is why we have time and again said that these decisions are purely vindictive and purely sort of punishing the people of Kashmir. We have seen time and again where youngsters were picked up, locked in jail for years altogether, and then court finally says that those guys were not criminals and they were not involved in any activity. So all we are saying is that if you have certain sort of concrete proofs, there is police, there is intelligence mechanism available, take that evidence, take it to the court, present a case there, give them a fair trial. I mean, it is tomorrow, Anand, let's say, God forbid, tomorrow someone in your company accuses you of having terror links. Would you not have recourse to justice? Would you not have recourse to law? Would you not have recourse to court? I mean, that is the very basis of the judicial system that we have
the provision, in the country. Correct me if I am wrong, the provision under which they have been sacked, subclause C or the proviso clause 2, article 311 of the Constitution of India, in the interest of the security of the state, and they have done it based on proper investigation done and hard proof that has been got. If they wanted to sack them, and if they decided, no, I don't like this person, I want to sack him, they could have sacked them on the 6th of August 2019. That's not happened.
So that is our basic premise, Anand. Tomorrow, let's say a different government comes at center, and then they deploy these provisos against you. Would you not have recourse to justice?
Yeah.
I mean, is it so arbitrary in the country that we cannot then let's shut the shop for the judiciary once and for all. Let's get done with it. I mean, can a bureaucrat decide that the other bureaucrat working against him or does not
not working against him, working against the interest of the state.
That is the whole premise. A bureaucrat does not get to decide that.
Let me ask Dr. Nirmal Singh to respond to you, Najmuji. Please stay with me. Yes, Dr. Nirmal Singh.
Whether these people they have approached the court, whether court has not accepted their plea. There are courts in Jammu and Kashmir, and after finding all these evidences against them, the government is proceeding against them. That's a fact. Don't generalize the things.